OffBeat Sports Podcast presented by Celsius.
It's been a tale of two seasons for the Boston Celtics.
I probably aged about 10 years just from that series.
I'd probably compare myself to just a younger, smarter, more handsome, stronger Michael Jordan.
Let's go Celtics. Go Patriots.
These are guys who, when you give them a bowl of Cheerios in the morning, they finish every last drop of milk.
Absolute clown over here.
I'm ready when you are, baby.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast. Today we are joined by Kevin Cooney. You may have seen him on TikTok. He's pretty big on there, so we're happy to have him. He's going to talk some Patriots with us. We're going to recap the Buffalo game a bit and then get into some off-season stuff. So excited to have him on. Welcome to the show.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys for having me. This is sweet. I'm pumped.
All right. So let's start on the Buffalo game. I mean, tough game. They should have won that. I'm going to drill this into the ground. They should have won that game. No excuses. And people were like, oh, they lost by like 100%. 13. But like, you give up 2 kick return touchdowns. What are you going to do? I mean, like.
Oh, man. It's such a double-edged sword because like they come out of the gate with a kick return. And I'm like, oh, man. This is great to see it, right, for Buffalo, because everything that's happened with them, obviously. But as a Pats fan, damn, that sucked. That from that point on, I was like, this game's a wrap. This is over. You know, it's over before it even started.
I know. So I was texting in my group chat. I was like, all right, they're gonna win this. Their game. They're gonna win this game. Game starts. They're running back. I'm like, all right, we're screwed.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an absolute blowout.
As soon as they got that, I was like, "This is it. This is done. Put a wrap on the season." You know.
And then they let up a field goal, and then they marched down the field and scored a touchdown. I was like, "All right, we're right back in this. We got this. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good."
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say they did a great job of weathering that early storm. I mean, I felt the same way after the first kick return touchdown. And then when they kind of settled things down and were able to even it, I was like, all right, maybe we do have a chance in this game. And then they, of course, just answer right back.
Yeah.
So it's a roller coaster of emotions in that game.
I feel like every game this season has been that way. Like it'll be a decent back and forth. I'm like, oh, we're in it. We have a chance here. And then there comes that turning point where it's like, yeah, you know what? This is just we were on top for a while. You know, This is going to be a bit of a building few years for us for sure.
It just seemed like they just could not be perfect for one game. Like there was here and there, one or two, even they were just like little mistakes that kind of blew up their whole game. Like you can't let up 2 kick returns. That's just like, you shouldn't even let up one. I mean, like I get like they were missing a couple of their normal special teams guys, but like 2 kick returns. And I know like they're playing with the motivation of DeMar Hamlin, but like, even with that, like,
I mean, you're also playing for your season. If you're the Patriots, you should have enough motivation too.
I know.
And am I hallucinating here? What the hell is Matt Patricia doing on offense? Wasn't he like he was a space engineer, wasn't he, before coming to the NFL? And then wasn't he like all-time defensive coordinator for like years for us? I'm sure there's a lens that I'm not seeing with him that he's great at, but damn, him running the offense is rough. You know,
so with Matt Patricia, like the first half of the year, I was defending him. I was like, all right, let's let him get into his own. Like he runs the defense. He ran a defense, which means he should be able to know what an offense should do against the defense. I was like, it may work out. It should work out. And I kept like defending him. And I was like, but you can see flashes of it. He's just trying to put it together. And then halfway through the season, I was like, all right, I got to stop. This is ridiculous. Like he should not be coaching an offense.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, all right, Bill, you don't want to fire your friend. Make up a position for him in the front office. Right. Just throw him up there in the box. Like you don't need him. You don't need him running like a certain facet of the game because our defense looks good. You don't need to throw him back on defense, but like
right.
And like that's what I'm talking like with Joe Judge. Throw him to special teams. He was really good. That was probably the best special teams team we've ever had. Is when he was coaching in 2019 when we had like 4 or 5 touchdowns off like blocked kicks and stuff. Like you put him back there. Whoever the special teams coach is now is absolutely atrocious. And
it's
been a rough season for special teams.
Are you a Mac Jones guy or a Zappy guy? Like,
So
if you had to put a guy out there, who would you start?
I think the Zappy argument is absolutely ridiculous. Mac Jones
Yeah.
is a better football player.
Yeah.
But in like with Zappy, yeah, he played pretty well, but he was playing against like three absolutely shitty defenses. Like
Yeah.
in all those teams he was playing, like the Browns had a shitty defense this year. The Lions had the worst defense in the league this year. Like you're putting them against guys like that are not good, and then you have Mac who played like he played the Ravens defense. He played the Dolphins defense, which is pretty good in the start of the year. Who else? He played another but like he's been playing against good defenses and he's been solid. He's not putting up crazy numbers, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, with the play calling the way it is, I mean, it's been bad. Like
it's crazy to watch. So I was at the game where they pulled Mac out and they put Zappy in.
Oh, the Chicago
Like,
game. Yeah.
The place erupted. And where I was sitting, I was in the same box as Mac Jones' family.
Oh,
so
really?
It was super. I was like, that's crazy that they would have Bears fans in this box. Like, I guess not weird, but and then this lady came up to us and she's like, that's Mac Jones's family. So like, feel free to celebrate, but like, be careful what you say. It was very awkward.
Oh,
We're sitting there like,
yeah, that has to be awkward. I mean, but like everyone, like I get the hype. I mean, like they had the whole Zappy fever thing. People were like all excited. Like Mac was always going to be the quarterback. There was, I don't think there was much of a quarterback debate. And I think Aiden and I said that when we did an episode on who should start. And I think we both were like, I don't even see the argument to this.
Yeah. I mean, we both kind of agreed, that while Zappy did show flashes, there's always those caveats, like he's playing weaker defenses. And Patricia, it also seemed when Zappy was in, would call different plays
which was
he would
odd.
Mac,
He played more play action, which when you
and it worked. It worked.
And you could
Zappy.
see in the Buffalo game, whenever we were marching, it was just a shit ton of play action. It was just like an absolute just play action, and throwing the ball downfield. And it worked. I don't know why they're not throwing the ball and especially I think it was one of the last drives of the game where we needed to score, and it was and he kept running the ball. I'm like, dude, we need to go fast. I go, we need 2 touchdowns.
100%.
And then
they have the opposite problem the Seahawks had a couple years ago in the Super Bowl with Mr. Beast mode when they decided to pass it when they should have ran it. It got off by the pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, but flipped. We decide to run it all day long when we should be passing it.
Especially with I mean, not to be insensitive, but the Bills secondary is completely injured.
Their run defense is
they're down to their third string safety. They're down a cornerback. You could throw all day at them. I just, especially at the end of the game, I get throughout the game sprinkling some runs, but I mean, at the end of and that's what forced Mac to have to throw. I think it was his second interception of the game, but the first one at the end of the game is because he had to go for the end zone. He had to really launch it deep, and he had to try and fit it in between a couple guys. And honestly, I don't think any of those interceptions were really Mac's fault. I think those were kind of inflated a bit. I mean, he was having to try and kind of get the offense moving. In the first one, I think it was more just a great play by Tre'Davious White anyway. And we shouldn't have even been in that position because there was a PI the play before, but we're not going to go there. But back to Patricia. Back to Patricia. I just think this dude, we get in a rhythm with a certain type of offense, and then he goes back to the shit that doesn't work.
Right.
We should never run a screenplay. We are terrible at screenplays.
That's his Patricia's security blanket is basically the run game and screens,
Yeah.
For some reason he feels safe there when it's not gonna, do anything for us.
What I don't understand too is, I mean, our offense primarily just consists of run plays and screen plays. What are we paying hundreds of millions of dollars to Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Kendrick Bourne? Why are we paying these guys if we're not going to actually use them as much as we should be,
Right.
And
100%.
I think Aguilar is awful. Which I think he's gone. But not to put everything on Patricia, because like, I mean, there's some things that would work if you had a good offensive line. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Mac's running for his life. It seems like in some of the games he would snap the ball and there's already somebody in the backfield like chasing him. I'm like,
Yep.
like what are you doing? And then sometimes the offensive line looks great. Like the Vikings game, they were pretty much clean the whole game, and I was like,
Yeah.
why can't we do this more consistently? Like,
this year was the first year watching the Pats where even if we were in situations where maybe down by a score, it was the first year in my head where I was like, there's zero chance we march down the field and put the points on the board. Whereas like 3, 4, 5 years ago, you'd have Brady in,
yeah,
and there'd be like minute and a half left, down by a score. They're at the opposite 5-yard line. You're like, you'd
all
sit
right, we're
there and
good.
be like,
We're good.
"Oh, we're fine.
We're gonna at least give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
first year. I'm like, there's no shot. There's
Yeah.
no shot.
Well, and it just seems like in all the important plays, we're taking a sack. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, and
Yep.
yeah, Mac needs to be a little bit more mobile, but like also, if you got a guy like chasing you every play, like you're gonna get a little like
It's
run
exhausting.
down. Yeah, and I just and I blame some of the offensive line on Patricia because like Cole Strange has been good. He's been good. David Andrews has been pretty good.
Yep.
And Wenyu's been pretty good at the other guard. The two tackles are the problem. You got Isaiah Wynn and Trent Brown. They're both playing the wrong positions. For some reason, he flipped them this year, and they've been awful. Like, I'm like, why wouldn't you move them back to their natural position? What is the point of flipping them?
Yeah, like
Wynn's a left tackle, Brown's a right tackle, and they're playing them. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. And
yeah.
I mean, they should be able to block. They're both huge human beings. Like,
Right.
you should be able to adjust at some point. But like, I mean, Brown was really bad this year, and Wynn was out half the time because he's just awesome. But I just think that you need to go after an offensive lineman like in the draft.
100%.
Yeah.
You got that 14th pick, offensive lineman. That's my
Yeah, I mean, you look at, as you were saying, I mean, it was not a good year for Trent Brown, but I think another problem with Matt getting sacked and having to run is when that's not happening. Trent Brown was 8th in the NFL for most penalty yards this year. So when Mac's not getting sacked, we're getting called for holding penalties, which is backing us up even further. And I mean, Patricia's not helping by continuing to run the ball in like a 1st and 20, 2nd and 20 situation. But I mean, we can't get put into that situation. It's hard to win games when you're having to gain twice as many yards to get a first down as the other team, which already has more offensive weapons than you, has about as a good defense like in the Bills game. Like it's just tough to win games when you're committing so many penalties.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think of Coach Steve there, Belichick's son?
I mean, the defense looked good this year. I think Gerard Mayo's running the defense. I mean, but like, I mean, every facet of the defense looked pretty good. I mean, yeah, we had some blips here and there, but like, I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, they had the number 1 fantasy defense in the league, and they were ranked top 10, like in advanced statistics. So, I mean, like you got a good defense, which nobody thought at the beginning of the year. Everyone was like, all right, our offense will be pretty good. Our defense is probably going to suck with like some of the guys we lost, losing JC Jackson and stuff. But like, I mean, the rookies stepped up. The rookies look freaking great, which that's now actually technically 3 drafts in a row that Belichick's nailed with 2020 Duggar and Onwenu. Last year, you had Mac, Ramondre Stevenson, Christian Barmore. I'm probably missing some guys, but there were some other good ones. But like, and then this year you got those 2 running backs looked pretty good. Zappy looked pretty good, but then you got Tyquan Thornton showed flashes. Cole Strange looked pretty good, although I felt like a lot of their picks they overdrafted. But like, I mean, if the guys are playing well, it works. And then Marcus Jones and Jack Jones obviously have been like the story. I mean, Jack Jones, we don't know what's going on with him now, but I mean, Marcus Jones playing all 3 sides of the ball, which is absurd. Like, we got our own little Deion Sanders out there.
Yeah. Dude, you know, this just popped in my head. You know what I am seeing for you guys? I literally am seeing the next Pat McAfee show right in front of my face right now.
Oh my God. Wait, if you think where the, like, oh my God, Harry, our other co-host, this dude like is just literally Pat McAfee, where he just spews shit and like just joke and screws around the whole time.
Dude, you got. I'm listening to you both talk. You guys, you have to follow this through. You guys are great.
Dude, I love doing this. Like
We appreciate it.
I mean, I've been doing this since the start. I brought Aiden and Harry in after the fact because like I started with a couple other guys that can't do it anymore,
Yep.
'cause of school. But like I've been able to fit in with my schedule, so like we just keep it going. We have so much fun doing this. Like and I mean, I just like
can
talking
see it.
sports.
Dude, I can see it. I can totally see it, man. I can see you guys in the studio. The whatever you guys end up your version of the Thunderdome. I mean, this is gonna be all time.
Thank you, appreciate it. So let's get into draft needs. I mean, so now I just talked about like how good the drafts have been. Let's look at. I mean, offensive line's the number one, but like,
100%.
do we think we need a receiver? I don't think you should draft a receiver. I don't think that it's all that deep this year. So that's just me personally.
I feel the same way. I honestly think it'd be amazing to see what we can do with our receivers in the offseason, strengthen them up. I think you're right. I think O-line. I think if we go heavy drafting O-line, you're right, dude. Almost every snap, it felt like Mac was running for his life, Like, and I can't remember in years past, it just felt like back in the day, Brady had so much time in the pocket.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had a clean pocket most of the game. He would just be sitting there like
what the hell? Yeah, there was so much. I feel like Mac didn't even have time to watch the receivers progress downfield before he had to like either throw it away or just take the hit.
Yeah, exactly. Which you also need some depth there because I mean you saw like when David Andrews got hurt or Isaiah Wynn went out. Like you got guys Connor McDermott coming in. Like I mean he's fine, but like. It's not great. I mean, you definitely need some depth, which we've always had depth at the position. We always had what's the guy's name? What's the guy who's in Cincy now? Ted Karras. We had him. Yep. Like we had a bunch of guys like that could be starters.
Cooney. Yeah, he's great in Kansas City.
Yeah, like we had guys that like were backups, like that could be starting on like any other team. Like Yeah. And I think you just got to put some depth there. And I mean, last year. They drafted 2 offensive linemen in the final rounds, but clearly they weren't good enough. So I don't know. They need to go heavy on offensive line. I think you could also like boost the linebacker core. I mean, I think the linebackers were solid this year. They kind of surprised me. Like Jelani Tavai, I think had a great season, which nobody saw that coming. I mean,
I think our secondary was halfway decent. But
and our secondary is good. Maybe draft a safety if Devin McCourty retires. Yeah. Speaking of which, do you think McCourty's retiring?
Oof. I don't know.
I don't think so. He's gonna want that.
I think he might be back next year.
Dude, he's one short of the record.
Yeah.
I think he goes for it.
I agree. I think I do. I don't know. I'm back and forth on it, but I think he goes for it. I think he
likes football too much.
Year. Yeah.
And I think Slater's done. I think Slater's probably done.
That's a good hot take. I like that.
I just think all the emotions you could see from him after that game. It seemed like it gave like he's done vibes, but and with Slater, I mean, it seemed like he kind of also passed the torch to that Schooler kid because that Schooler kid was in on most tackles like Slater. Like usually is, and it seemed like there was kind of like a passing of the torch there where we may have our next Slater, which he didn't play that Buffalo game, so you might there may be some connection to that in the kick return touchdowns, but I don't want to give that kid too much credit because he already has kind of a swagger to him, like when he handed Bill the ball when he recovered the fumble.
What a freaking bozo move that was, huh? Holy hell!
Bill was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm shocked Bill was just like, "Get out right now!
You're cut on the spot."
That was a bold move. That was interesting choice there.
Oh yeah. Jeez, but defensively, I think we're pretty good. I mean, maybe draft another corner for some depth because you don't want Miles Bryant playing anymore. That dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think Miles Bryant gets a lot of hate. And I mean, he hasn't been good, but also you got to think if you go down our depth chart, he's our 5th cornerback.
Yeah.
You got Marcus Jones, Jack Jones, Jonathan Jones, and Jalen Mills all ahead of him. So realistically, if we're healthy, he should never be playing.
Yeah.
So
speaking of Jonathan Jones, rushed. this year, huh?
Yeah, he
Fire.
stepped up. We needed CB1, and he stepped up to the task. Yeah, he
Yep.
had a couple games where I questioned his ability, but like for the most part, he did against some of those top-notch receivers. He did pretty good. So I mean, he's a free agent this year, so you got to sign him back, and you can probably get him like, and we have a shit ton of money to spend. So free agency is also going to be big. I think in more of the skill positions you could tackle in free agency versus like offensive line, you can go in draft. So in like even like linebacker, you can go in draft. So that's why I mean, go spend that money. I mean, you got to re-sign Jacoby Myers, Jonathan Jones. Just trying to think of who else. Who else is a free agent? We got a bunch of free agents. I mean, McCourty's technically a free agent, so I mean, he's signed a 1-year deal. Aguilar's a free agent. He's gone. There's no chance he's back. Isaiah Wynn might be able to get him cheap. That's the only thing.
You're right, though. I feel like
he had such a bad year. Who's gonna pay him anything?
Exactly.
Belichick's like Captain Jack Sparrow in a cave sitting on like gold, you know? He's just got all this cash stored.
Yeah. Dude, like the cap value just went up. So like we had a ton before cap value went up. So with the cap going up, we got way too much to spend. Cody Davis, who's a special teamer, which they'll probably sign to cheap. Jabril Peppers, who like showed some flash. I mean, he didn't play a ton, but like he came in and he was a hard-hitting dude, which is kind of what you expect from him.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to really play into our offseason strategy, though, right? I mean, with so much cap space, you can kind of pick which positions do we tackle in the draft, which ones do we tackle in free agency. I mean, one of the great prospects we could go after, especially for a lineman early in the draft, would be Broderick Jones out of Georgia. I mean, you watched the national championship game, the semifinal, Georgia was playing, and Stetson Bennett had all day to just sit back and throw. A large part of that was Broderick Jones at left tackle. I think he'd be a great prospect we could get in the draft.
Off topic. That is one of the most ridiculous like things that Stetson Bennett is allowed to play. That dude is like 5 years older than everyone else on the field. I mean, good for him to still play, but like, dude, go pro if you're gonna like.
I think that's almost a superpower of the Pats, though. Like, Pats have the ability to almost find these somewhat no-name drafts. Like, I think back to like the Woodheads of the day and Amendola, like all these just
Edelman, even Brady.
Even Edelman, right? Like kind of these little guys that just come out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah, they're good at that.
I feel like there's something about getting into Foxborough. You go through almost like almost some sort of like hell week. For like
boot camp kind of thing,
you know?
I mean, like even more recently, Duggar, Strange, like Duggar. I want to give Duggar. Hold on, I want to give Duggar his props. I mean that. He had a great. It was a completely different game when he was playing and when he wasn't. Like that dude was all over the field, and he had a great season. He had 3 touchdowns?
He had 3.
2 pick sixes and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Like fire. Dude, that's just absurd. Like not only is he getting the ball for us, he's putting it in the end zone. Like he's getting downfield, and they're not like just like, oh, we're throwing a pick 6 at like the 10, our own 10. Like, no, he's getting it from like 50 yards back and running it back. So I want to give him his props. He had a great season. So
100%.
I mean, you look at also guys that Belichick would target. A lot of them are multi-positionals. They play different positions in high school and college, makes them available for like a lot of different uses in the NFL. Like Edelman, well-documented quarterback, Marcus Jones, Jacoby Myers was a quarterback. So with
Edelman, he played like for us. He played receiver. He played defensive back at one point when we were so injured on the defense. Nobody remembers this. But he played DB at one point because we just had no cornerbacks left. He had to put him on the defense. I mean, he used to return kicks. Like we'd run little trick plays.
He's a punt returner. A lot of these guys are like Swiss Army knives. You know, you can use them in so many different ways. Like with Marcus Jones this year to spark the offense when it seemed like nothing was working. So I think that's another like key element that Belichick can look for deep into the draft. We'll draft some guy we've never heard of, but by the end of next season, we'll be saying he's part of our long-term future. I mean, it seems to happen every year.
100%. That's like their special touch is that in the drafts, you know?
Yeah. All right. I have a theory on Damian Harris. hear me
Yeah.
out. Although we have those rookie running backs, like who have showed promise, I have a theory that this season was like such a mess for Damian Harris that we can be able to sign him back really cheap for at least 1 year and bring back the duo of Damian and Ramondre before we hand the reins off to Ramondre. Like
Yep.
he had such like a off year because of the injuries that who the hell's going to pay him all that money? Which the reason we were going to let him walk is because he would have got paid. But I don't think he's going to get paid. So I wonder if they bring him back.
He's the only scary thing with him, to your point, is he's just fairly injury prone. But you're right. Like sub that, I think you're right. I think we get him for a deal. Get him for a discount.
Even though I do like the young guys they brought or they drafted last year. But I mean, hey, if you can bring a vet back, that's also good. He's good friends with Mac Jones, so keep quarterback happy. So like in on that point, don't get rid of Kendrick Bourne. I mean, he's good friends with Mac too. You really don't want to piss off your quarterback if you get rid of all his friends.
100%.
So
that's what's interesting. Where it's like, as a decision maker in that organization, it'd be really cool to almost draw up on a whiteboard, like, hey, here's our criteria for when we draft a player, and then here's also how we exit that player. Like, you look back to like the deal with Brady, that could have been 1,000 different things, right, that went wrong internally. But it's interesting when it gets to like where are they at in their career age wise? Like how much longer can they play for? Where are they at from an injury standpoint? And where are they at from a price range? Like where can we buy them back or set them free?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we've seen time and time again players that had a lot of success here and then go somewhere else and suck. I mean, like Sony Michel being one. I mean, he was a big part of a Super Bowl title and then went somewhere else. He's been bouncing around the league since. I mean, like a guy like Damian Harris, he might be thinking like, I didn't have a great year. Maybe I come back to New England for a year at least. And
total side note, this makes me think
around.
What the hell is going on with Odell Beckham? You see that plane video from like this is like piping hot. This is like 24 hours ago.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Do you see this? You gotta look.
Oh, you didn't see it.
This is if you Google it, there'll be more info on it. But he
kicked off a plane?
From my understanding, he like fell asleep on a plane. Some flight attendant thought he was, I don't know if under the consumption of drugs or alcohol or whatever, but she demanded him off the plane. He didn't want to get off, so they deboarded everyone, and then there was like 4 cops around him, and then took him off the plane. There's a good video of it from the cops body cam that captures it.
Yeah,
and
pulling it up. Oh, I'm pulling it up right now.
Pretty wild stuff happening with that man,
dude. Where has he been? Like, I can't believe it. He's been teasing teams all season. Like, crazy. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to bite him. Like, he's not 100%. He's not gonna sign anywhere. I mean,
I feel like it's tough to keep. It's a rare breed to move around different teams to different teams, plant your roots, and grow. I almost look at the careers like for a tree to grow, it's got to really embed its roots into the ground, And in football, it's like embedding the roots is like, let me learn the playbook, let me get into the culture here, let me build relationships.
Get chemistry. Especially for a receiver, you want to be building chemistry with QB over time. I mean, it can't be rushed. And
exactly.
But like with a guy like Odell, like, I mean, there's concerns with Odell anyway. Like, why would you like encourage any more concerns by like just messing around with a bunch of teams versus like really trying to show interest in one, like when these teams are like questioning it anyway. But sticking on the topic of receiver, I mean, we're hearing a lot about DeAndre Hopkins. What are the odds that New England makes a move?
I mean, everybody's seen that video from the midseason Hard Knocks of Bill chatting it up after the game, both announcing their love for each other. So, I mean, you would think the Patriots would at least be calling Arizona. But I'm not too sure how willing Belichick would be to trade draft picks, the high draft pick for Hopkins. It probably would require a day 1 or 2 pick. Because Belichick doesn't usually do things like that to move up in the draft or to get a key free agent. But I mean, considering it's DeAndre Hopkins, Belichick missed out on him the first time. That kind of, factored into Brady deciding to leave town. So it will be interesting to see if Belichick is willing to pass on Hopkins for a second time. But I would be ecstatic if we got him here. I think when you look at guys like Josh Allen, Tua, it was their third year when they got Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill. They got their main option their third year, and that really led to them skyrocketing, taking off. I think this could be this is a really key year in Mac's development for the future. If he doesn't play well this year, they might start looking at quarterbacks in the following draft. So I think
you think Mac's gonna be the starter, right?
I think Max is started this year. Yeah. I think they're going to give him at least one more year. And I think that, like, as we said, you draft a left tackle. If you get DeAndre Hopkins, you say, Mac, we fixed your offensive line through free agency, through the draft. We got you number 1. Now go show us what you can do. And I mean, at that point, we should be able to make a decision on Mac's development. But I mean, I think if we fill both of those needs, like, Mac's going to be the Pro Bowler he was 2 years ago, and everybody will be foolish asking themselves why they ever questioned this guy. That's just my take on it. If we can get DeAndre Hopkins, I think that could really unlock, Mac's potential.
Yeah.
Kevin, before I give my spiel, tell me, do you think Mac's gonna be the starter next year, or do you think they bring in someone else?
I don't know. My gut thinks that I think Belichick likes to grow with people, and I think they can do a shit ton in the offseason to start to kind of game. I think you're right. Like, if you give them a little more weapons, if you give them a little more of a foundation on the O-line, and some more weapons, I think anything's possible. But I don't know. Like, the jury's still kind of hung on if he starts again. I think we've invested a lot into him already, but I don't know. My gut is my gut says yes, but I honestly don't know if I believe that.
Well, say he doesn't start. Who do you think we would bring in? Who are some of the options that you could see?
I mean, you see the Derek Carr the Derek Carr rumors. You see, like, even Lamar Jackson's on the market.
Right.
Like, you see guys like that, but
Lamar's not getting his money. That could be a good one.
Yeah, here's my thing. I think you invested a first-round pick in Mac. He's your quarterback. Yep. And you're not going to just move on from him after a year where you gave him a shitty offense coordinator and a shitty offensive line. I think the weapons are fine. I mean, these weapons should be able to get you a good offense. I think next year they're going to bring in a new offense coordinator, new offensive line, maybe another weapon or so, and they're going to be like, Mac, here you go. No excuses.
Yeah.
No major fuck ups. If you fuck up, you're gone.
Right.
Like, we're moving on. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd be surprised to see them bring in a vet. I mean, if Lamar Jackson's on the table, I mean, yeah, but I just saw the Ravens. The Ravens just paid a shit ton to one of their linebackers. So I mean, they may be like trying to lock in other guys with the thought that Lamar's on the way out.
What's happening with his it was like a couple months ago.
They got the money to pay him. So
like they have the money to pay him, but they're not paying him. Is that still the jury on that? Like,
Lamar? The extension never worked out. So now he's going to hit free agency unless they get something done before free agency, I think. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors there. I mean, I haven't heard much, but like from a lot of people think he's leaving. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see if Belichick would be in on that, because I mean, from what I think Belichick is kind of a fan. I don't know. This just popped in my head when I was thinking Belichick's a fan of him. But with D-Hop, if you bring in Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator, there's no way in hell D-Hop's coming here. They beefed when they were in Houston. Like, there was
great. Yeah.
So that just popped in my head, but I remember that was like a whole mess.
That's a great. Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point
on there.
So I mean, it's I guess, but if you bring in Kingsbury as offensive coordinator, would D-Hop want to come here either? I mean, I don't know if that was a great experience for him either. But I mean, if you have a guy that's causing problems, a lot of coaches also, do you want him here? Like, is the question. So
I think you're right. I think they invested so much in Mac already that I think I agree. I do think it'll be interesting to see what next season holds, but I think they do another season with him. And to your point, I think they hold him very tight to the line and say, we'll give you all the tools we can, but if you don't perform, you're out of here.
I'm also praying because he signed my jersey, which I'm hoping will be worth something.
Oh, let's go!
I'm hoping that might be worth some money a little.
There we cash in on that. Hell yeah!
Yeah, but no, jeez, I want things to work out for Mac. I really do. I think he's been put in such a bad position. He's gotten so much hate. Like, you still get the guys that are going, "Oh, start Zappy." I'm like, that's just so ridiculously dumb. Like, the dude is
stadium. Imagine you've played Pop Warner, so basically 6 years old all the way to the pros now. You're now starting for the Patriots. You perform poorly for a very short amount of time in the first quarter, and then they pull in Zappy. This is for the Chicago game, and the entire stadium is up on their feet, like losing their minds in excitement. Like, and then I don't know. I was watching it. I was there, and then I was watching it on my phone too, just to see kind of like the play-by-plays. And they kept, for whatever reason, zooming in on Mac the whole game.
I know. And Mac, honestly, I'll give Mac credit because, like, there's been complaints about his head, like people like about his antics.
Yeah,
he handled that really well.
Yeah,
he was out. He was the first one high-fiving Zappy when he came out the field. That's why I think it might have been planned. I think they told Mac, we're going to give you some reps, let you like play a little bit, because get him back into the swing of things, and then bring Zappy in. But which I think was ridiculous. We talked about this on the show like a while back, but like I just think that's extremely dumb, because then you're splitting your fan base in half.
100%.
I think somebody had to have come out and just said, like, Mac's our QB, or like, and I think the Patriots created the split, like, of the fan base, and I think that was a mistake.
And I think that just crushes confidence, like that's got to be really tough to step on that field the next game knowing everyone's looking for Zappy,
Yeah.
And I think Belichick kind of, realized that, and it was after that point that Zappy didn't see the field again. I think he kind of realized we need to stick with Mac here, build his confidence back up. Like, we can't just keep doing this all season.
Yeah.
Play with this guy's confidence.
Yep. 100%.
So going to Kendrick Bourne, I mean, he saw the field sometimes. Like the Bengals game, he had a great game. Do you think there's any rhyme or reason to that, or is it just some games he's open, some games he's not?
That's the I call it like the mystery of football. Like, there's it's the game of life, right? Where it's like you're gonna experience kind of every emotion throughout the play of game, but on any given day, I think even the worst of players can have, a Super Bowl run, given the right conditions. So I don't know. It's such a toss-up. Like, was it fate? Was it luck? Was it skill?
Yeah. I really like Bourne. That's the thing. Like, I can't figure out what he could have done. I don't know if it's just Patricia being Patricia, but like, maybe we'll see more of Bourne. Like, and what I really like is at the end of the season, they asked Bourne, like, are you hoping to get traded, basically? And he's like, no, I'm here to stay. Like, he goes, I want to be the fix to the offense. Like, which I thought was really encouraging. Like, that's something, like, that's a good player you want on your football team.
Yeah. You can get people behind what the coaches are preaching and get everyone invested. Someone like Bourne.
Yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Like, that dude got absolutely screwed this year. And he's still backing the team. Like, he's still ready to fight for us. Like, that's a player you want. Like, you don't want a guy that's quitting. Like, that you want that exactly. So that's encouraging to me. So I'm hoping to see some more out of him, with maybe like Aguilar gone and maybe him being one of our wide receiver 1 or 2. Like,
100%.
Myers is back. If bring in somebody else. So yeah, I mean,
I think it's going to be a big building year this time around. Who knows conditions for next year, but I think next 2-3 years are very much a building year before we go back to, those dynasty days were, that was rare, like that to go back to back to back like that. I mean, for us to not be in the playoffs is like pretty crazy.
I know, which this is where you see like how spoiled the fans were.
Yeah, exactly.
They're ridiculously upset about like being a borderline playoff team, like at like basically 500. Like I'm like, this is the story for a lot of franchises for most of their times. I mean, it's hard to be like, oh, this sucks. Like, I can't believe we haven't won one in 4 years. Like, it just
I remember
seems a little greedy. Like when you see a team like the Lions who have sucked or the Browns who've sucked for the last 25 years. Like it's hard to get like super down on it and be like, oh, I don't want to watch them anymore. Like that like I'm like you're clearly not a real fan then if like we went through with the Celtics. Like I don't know if you're a C's fan, but like like we had those years like after like Pierce and Garnett, like where it was pretty rough. I still watched pretty much every game, but like I was like, this is kind of rough. But then you got to trust the process as it comes. It's got to take a couple of years, and 100%. I think we are like couple pieces away from being like a really good football team. Like, and you can see it. Like we're in most games. There wasn't a lot of games where we got blown out this year, especially by the good teams. We competed. Like it just seemed like we played up to our competition and then played down to the teams we should have beaten. So
just simple mistakes, like silly penalties, couple of funky interceptions. Like I think you're right. I think we're always in the fight, and I think next couple of years, big building years. I don't think I think that whole Brady storm with him leaving a little while ago, chipped off a couple puzzle pieces, but you can still see what the puzzle is. I think we have the right means to fix it.
Yeah. So I'm encouraged. I got the optimism.
I'm with you.
Tough way to end the season, but I mean, if we got into the playoffs, we would have had the Bengals first round, which I mean, you have a chance, but also like you're probably losing first round anyway. So why not just take the draft pick? Though like couple picks higher. So
get the recovery going. Take the draft pick. Yeah, I agree.
So that's all we got for you today. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Everyone go check him out on TikTok. Hilarious content.
I can't thank you guys enough for having me. I'm dead serious, man. I can literally see you guys in your own version of a Thunderdome. Couple short years. I'm telling you, you gotta keep this up, man. You guys are great.
Appreciate it. Go check out. Or do you want to plug your new podcast?
Yeah. So we let's see, probably 6 months ago, we started a podcast called No Limits. So you can check that out. It's available on all, everywhere where your podcasts are aired. And man, it's been fun. It's been social media is an interesting game where it's things move quick. Like I did just for comparison, like I downloaded TikTok, no joke, 2.5 years ago, with no intentions of ever doing anything with it, so but yeah, the podcast is called No Limits, and that you can get that wherever your podcasts are played.
Awesome. Yeah, everyone go check him out. He's got good stuff. So be sure to check it out. And thank you everyone for listening or watching. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at offbeat_sports and on TikTok at offbeat sports. We'll see you next time.
Hell yeah.
Call them all Texans.